First of all, I would like to ask you the question about what do you mean by adaptation or the word classification? Can anyone tell? You can give the answer in the chat box. Yes, Vaishnavi, you can give the answer in the chat box. Vaishnavi, I have unmuted you. You can give the answer. Vaishnavi?
Yes, teacher.
What do you mean by adaptation or classification?
The adaptation I have no. Can I tell?
Yes, yes.
A gradual changes occur on the body parts or behavior of the organism adjust to their surroundings is called as the adaptation.
Okay, very good. You can mute yourself. Okay, today we are going to study about the adaptation and classification. As Vaishnavi told the definition of the adaptation as the gradual changes that occur in the body parts and also in the behavior of the organisms which help the adjustment in the surrounding. Means what? The organisms which make changes in the behavior of an in them to adjust with the environment, that is called as adaptation. Okay, and classification of the plants and animals. So how plants and animals are classified, that also we are going to study. Okay. So let's go through the definition of the adaptation. Adaptation is a change in an organism that helps to survive and reproduce it in the environment. If a particular organism adapt the changes in the surrounding to survive, then it's whenever it will reproduce the new plant or animal that comes in existence, that will also be comfortable with the environment. That is called as adaptation. Okay, more simpler words, I would like to tell you that the adjustment or the behavior that the organism has to make according to the suitable changes in the environment, that is called as adaptation. Means what? The organisms make changes in their behavior to adjust with the environment, that is called as adaptation. Okay, so today we are going to study the two types of adaptation, that is plant adaptations and animal adaptations. Okay, now students, the most important question is that why do plants adapt? Okay, can anyone tell? I would like to ask Vedant. Yes, Vedant, I have unmuted you.
Yes, teacher.
Why plants adapt themselves? Why do plant adapt?
Miss teacher, means in the desert we can see the cactus. Teacher, in the cactus there is scarcity of water because teacher they not have a leaf, and teacher there is a not leaf because teacher they not get.
No, you didn't. I would like to stop you here, Vedant. The question is, why do plants adapt? Okay, you have not got the question correctly. I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay, you mute yourself. Okay.
Yes.
So why do plants adapt? Because as you know, plants gives us fruits, flowers, vegetables. Okay, so they have very attractive colors so that all the insects get attracted towards themselves. That's why the plant adapt themselves. Okay, some flowers also you get attracted towards them. Why? Because of their color. The petals of the color makes you attract. Even the birds and insects get attracted towards the color of the flower. Okay, for example, rose, hibiscus. Okay, all these flowers may have different colors and they make attract the insects and different other animals. So plants adapt to attract different animals, birds, insects towards them. For that self, that is one of the reasons why the plants adapt. Okay, so let's move towards the first adaptation. Now in the lesson we are having the first adaptation, that is adaptation in aquatic plants. So students, you can see that the aquatic plants are divided into three types. First is fixed aquatic plant, second is free floating aquatic plant, and third is submerged aquatic plants. Okay, fixed aquatic plants means these plants are growing only in water. Okay, you can see the leaves, flowers floating on the water. Okay, students, can you tell me why the leaves or the flowers are floating on the water? Example, lotus I can give you. So why it is floating, do you know? Okay, I will tell you the answer. The stems and the leaves have waxy layer. Because of that, the leaves or the flowers float on the water. Okay, they are having waxy layer. Okay, even the stem of the lotus, if you cut the stem of the lotus, what you will see? You will see small air pores in the you will see small pores in the stem. So what is the use of these air pores? This air space in the stems and petals are very useful for the plant to float in the water. The stem is very flexible. I gave you the example of the lotus and water lily. Okay, the second type is free floating aquatic plants. Now this free floating aquatic plants means what? They are having spongy bodies. Means the leaves or the stem of the plants are swollen like a balloon, as if air is filled in them. So the body is looking like a sponge body. For example, hyphaean and duckweed. These are the two examples of the free floating aquatic plants. Then the third type of the aquatic plant is submerged aquatic plant. So what does the submerged aquatic plant consist of? These plants are half in water and half above the water. So these type of plants are called as submerged aquatic plants. Okay, so I would like to ask a question here to Arya. Arya, I have unmuted you. The question for you is that why don't the leaves of the plant rot in water? Can you give the answer? Why don't the leaves of the plants rot in water? Do you know the answer? Okay, I will ask another student. Shravan, I have unmuted you. Shravan, have you understood the question? Have you understood the question? Why don't the leaves of the plants rot in water?
Some of the aquatic plants are filmy loose in the soil of the bottom of the water bodies.
Okay, very simple answer it is. Because the leaves are made up of waxy layer. That is the reason why the plants do not rot. The leaves of the lotus flower do not rot in the water. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, mute yourself. The next question I would like to ask Samriddhi. I have unmuted you. Samriddhi,
Yes.
why does the water trickle off on the lotus leaves?
Because teacher,
Huh.
because it have a lotus leaf have a waxy layer on it.
Okay, lotus leaf is having waxy layer. That is, the nature of the leaf is hydrophobic. If you put the water on the leaf of the lotus, it will not take that water in. The water drop will fall from the leaf. That is hydrophobic nature of the aquatic plant of the lotus. Okay, let's move forward. Samriddhi. Okay, Kushagra Singh, I have unmuted you. Yes, Kushagra.
Yes, teacher.
You can see the slide, so you can read the points for water adaptation in the plants. So start reading, beta.
Underwater leaves and stems are flexible to move with water current. Some plants have air space in their stems to help the plants up in the water. Small plants lack strong water transport system in them. Their water nutrients and dissolved gases are absorbed through the leaves directly from the water. Roots have reduced or extend roots only needed for encharge, not for absorption of nutrients and water.
Okay, unmute yourself. Mute yourself. Now, the water adaptation in the plants. As I told you, the leaves and the stems are very flexible so that they can stand still in the water, even if there is water currents in the water. They can stand very still. Okay, again, these plants are having air space in the stem, which helps the plant to stand up in the water. Okay, now the plant is living in water, so plant does not require water, but from water the nutrients and the dissolved gases are absorbed by the leaves directly from the water. So from water the nutrients and all the dissolved gases which are required for plant growth are absorbed by the plant for the growth. Then the third point is that the root hairs are absent. Okay, you cannot see any root hairs present in these types of plants. Okay, so this is about the water adaptation. Now here is the picture of the lotus, where you can see the flexible stem moves in the water current very frequently. Okay, now floating seeds spread offsprings. Now you can see that in the pond there are now you can see that in the plant there are in a pond there are very many lotus plants. Why there are many lotus plants in a pond scene? Because they reproduce. So the seeds of the offsprings are spread along through the water current so that a new plant is reproduced from that seeds. So you can see many lotus plants in the pond. Okay, so the floating seed spreads offspring. So this helps for reproduction of the plant. Okay, this helps the reproduction of the plants. In the side picture you can see that different types of aquatic plants, submerged plant. Okay, now the second type of adaptation is adaptation in deserts. Okay, adaptation in desert. Now you know how is the climate in the desert? Very hot and dry. Okay, now the leaves are small and spiny thorn shaped. Now in this slide you can see that the leaves are there present in the desert climate, that they are having thorn like. Thorn like means if you touch the leaves, the thorns will prick you. That is the meaning. And the leaves are also very much small. Can you tell me why the leaves are small and having spiny thorns? Yes, Harsh Mahajan. Harsh Mahajan, I have unmuted you. Harsh Mahajan. Harsh Mahajan, are you there? Okay. Samriddhi, I have, can you give the answer? Why the leaves are small and having spiny thorns?
Yes, teacher. So they can produce less photosynthesis and save water in themselves.
Okay, you're talking about photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Can you tell me?
Teacher, when they
what is the meaning? Do you know?
Teacher,
Okay, I will tell you. Mute yourself. She told that there is scarcity of water in the desert region. That is one of the reasons. Second, she used the word photosynthesis. So photosynthesis means the plants prepare their own food in presence of sunlight. That is called as photosynthesis. We have studied this in standard 6. That is the meaning of photosynthesis. Means the ability of the plant to prepare their own food is called photosynthesis. Then the next question was that why does the plant in the desert region have small leaves or thorns? Because the evaporation of the water should be less from the plant, as in desert region there is scarcity of water. So the water should evaporate less from the plant. That is why the leaves are spiny, having spiny thorns, or they are small. Okay. Next is stem is fleshy. Now why stem is fleshy? Can anyone tell? I would like to ask Arya Painter, why stem is fleshy? Can you tell beta why in desert region the stem is fleshy? Arya Painter, I have unmuted you.
Yes, teacher.
Why the stem is fleshy in the desert region?
Teacher, because the cactus have a thick, hard-walled skeleton stem. When it rains, water is stored in the stem, due to which they are photosynthetic, green and fleshy.
Okay, very good. Means you want to tell that the photosynthesis takes place in stem, not in leaves. Previously, what we have studied, that leaves prepare the food. Yes, you can mute. Previously, we have studied that leaves prepare the food for the plant with the help of photosynthesis. But in desert region, the stem is fleshy and the leaves are thorny. So leaves cannot prepare the food for the plant. So stem of the desert plants are fleshy. Now why they are fleshy? Because they have to perform the photosynthesis, as in some plants leaves are absent or leaves are very small, you can say. Okay, the next point is the root is penetrated deep into the soil. What does it mean? That the plant has to go very deep in the soil in search of food. Okay, in search of food, they have to go very deep. Okay, now even in this also, there is a waxy layer present on the stems. Previously in aquatic plants, what we have studied, that the leaves have waxy layer. But here we have studied that the stem is having waxy layer. Why it is having like waxy layer? To hold in water. Okay, so that evaporation of the water should be less from this plant. The third type of adaptation is adaptation in snowy region. Now in snowy region, you must have observed that the shape of the plant is conical shape. In maths, you have studied that what is the conical shape. Okay, ice cream cone, you know, exactly the shape of the cone. So these trees are conical in shape and their branches are sloping. Can anyone tell why the branches are sloping? I would like to ask Harsh Thakre. Yes, Harsh Thakre.
Because they have triangle shape. Because
your voice is not coming, beta. Yes. Okay, mute yourself. Mohit, I have unmuted you. Mohit.
Yes, teacher.
Can you tell why the branches are sloping in the snowy region? Okay, no problem. I will tell you the answer. Mute yourself. Now, the branches are having are in sloping because, as you know, these plants are growing in snowy region. So there continuously snowy region is there. Snow falls, okay, or hails is continuously falling. So that should not get accumulated on the branches of the tree. To prevent the accumulation of the snow in the plant, the trees are supposed to have the sloping branches. Okay, and you must have seen how the trees are having the shape, conical shape. For that reason only, whatever snow falls on the tree, that should not get accumulated on the tree and it should fall down. And these plants do not bear any flower, but they have cones. Okay, they have cones in themselves. That is the one of the point. Okay. Shravani, I have unmuted you. Shravani.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, can you read for this slide for me?
Yes, teacher. Leaves are small and tough, so not likely to be damaged by snow or hail. They are thought covered seeds that can be survive cold. Roots grow deep, so it can cope with the strong winds. Trees grow triangular in shape, to snow can fall from it. So
okay, I hope your doubts are clear by reading this slide. In this slide, it is clearly mentioned that leaves are small so that they are not damaged by the snow or hail. The plants can survive in the cold also. It is having a tough covering, and the roots grow in deep and they penetrate. The root holding capacity of these types of trees are very nice. So even if any strong wind also comes, it will not harm the plant anyway. As the plant is triangular in shape, whatever snow is accumulated, that directly falls on the ground. It does not get accumulated on the tree. So this is about the lesson. So everyone is going to give the answer in the chat box. I'm reading the first question for you. Leaves of the lotus have dash layer. Option A, waxy layer. Option B, soil. Very good. Tanishka has given the right answer. Diksha has also given the right answer. Shreya Thakur also has given the right answer. Okay. The second question, gradual changes occur in the body of an organism is called photosynthesis or adaptation. Very good. Tanishka has given the right answer. Samriddhi also has given the right answer. Arnav also has given the right answer. Shruti Mane has also given the right answer. Very good, students. That means you are paying attention. Okay. Third question, the stem is dash in desert plant, needle shape or fleshy. Very good. Students are giving answer. Atharva Bhujbal has given the right answer. Arnav Ghag, Aryan Suryavanshi has given the right answer. Lamaika has given the right answer. Very good. The stem is fleshy in desert plants. Then the next question, pine trees are dash in shape, conical shape or round shape? Yes. The next question. Yes. Parveer has given the right answer. Soham has given the right answer. Vedant has given the right answer. Arya has given the right answer. The answer is conical. The pine trees are conical in shape. The last answer, dash plants cannot perform the photosynthesis. Pine or dodder plant? Pine or dodder plant? Very good, Arya. Parveer, very good. Soumya, pine is not the correct answer. Dodder is the correct answer. Why dodder? Because dodder is an insectivorous plant and it cannot perform photosynthesis. It has to depend on the other plants for food. And pine is the example of the snowy region adaptation. Okay. So this, I hope students you have understood the concept till what I have asked you. So now stop writing the answers in the chat box. Let's move towards the next, adaptation in plants of forest region and grassland. So I would like to ask Ayush, I have unmuted you. Ayush Yadav. Students, please read loudly so that other students can also hear you. Ayush, I have unmuted you.
Yes, teacher.
Read loudly the slide which is in front of you.
Adaptation in plants of forest region and grassland. Trees, shrubs, and herbs are found. Trees are tall, prevent soil erosion. Tiger, elephant, and deer can hide in grasses. Rabbit is found here. Plain and hilly areas.
Okay, now let's talk about the forest region. Now in forest region, we have studied last year in 6th standard, there are in forest, there are trees, shrubs, herbs, creepers, all these are found in the forest region. Okay, even we can see that the trees which are found in the forest grow very tall. Can anyone give me the reason why the trees grow tall? Yes, Shravan Bhade, I have unmuted you. Sai, I have unmuted you. Sorry. Sai, I have unmuted you. Sai?
Yes, teacher.
Can you give me the answer why the trees are growing tall in the forest?
Teacher, because
We have to get the sunlight.
teacher, because we get sunlight.
Very good answer, Sai. You can mute yourself because there is a competition between the trees for sunlight. So you know that sunlight is very much important for the plant to prepare the food. So there is a competition in between the different trees in the forest for growing, and they are growing tall to get the sunlight, and even they are growing tall because there are some climbers or vines that grow around themselves. These are the plants which require support of trees. They require support of trees for growing. That is why the trees are growing tall. There are two reasons. First reason is for sunlight, and second reason is that there are some climbers which take the support of the trees to grow. So they require food to prepare. Okay, in this picture also it is clear that you can see how the forest region actually is. Now the second last adaptation in plant, that is grassland adaptation. Now here you can see the grass is growing very, the grass which is growing in the forest region is very big as compared to the grass which we are seeing in the park or the gardens. Okay, why it is growing? Because as you know, some herbivorous animals feed on grass. So they need these animals depend upon the food for the grass. Herbivorous means the animals which eat only grass. Those are called as herbivorous. Okay, so tiger, elephant and deer are herbivorous. They depend totally on grass. Okay, and why tiger? I have written in the statement. Tiger hides in this grass for the prey. He is waiting for the prey to come near the food, and so that he can attack the deer or rabbit found there, and he can have the food. Now here tiger is a carnivorous animal. What does the carnivorous animal means? The animal which depends upon the flesh of the other animals, that is called as carnivorous. Okay, that is called as carnivorous. So, tiger is a carnivorous animal and it depends upon the flesh of the other animals. Whereas elephant and deer are herbivorous animals which depend upon the grass. Okay. This is about the forest region. Now the next is adaptation for vegetation of food in plants. So I would like to ask Snehal Sheke to read the slide. Snehal Sheke.
Yes, teacher.
Read the slide, beta.
Yes, teacher. Adaptation of ingestion of food in plants. Most of plants are autotrophic. Deodar is a plastic plant. Parasitic plant. While like steam.
Read, continue. Hostorial.
Osteous sucking root